And obviously, for those that aren't familiar with the legal system, the sentencing has to happen first in order for you to file for an appeal.
But it's still family, and this is still what's going on. I couldn't separate those two things to effectively do what I needed to do on Chrisley Knows Best.
But you also would not have been able to have said what you just said without going through what you've been without going through what we've gone through.
In the end, the truth will prevail. It may get harder before it gets easier, but we have faith.
The Chrisley family's way of life is about to end. The future of Todd and Julie Chrisley's reality programs has purportedly been revealed following their fraud conviction and punishment. According to Deadline, the well-liked shows Chrisley Knows Best and its spinoff Growing Up Chrisley, which centered on Todd and Julie's kids, Chase and Savannah, will also be canceled. Although NBCUniversal has not released any information officially regarding the show's endings, the outlet stated that, to their knowledge, neither will be continued. Moreover, Todd has revealed his plans for 2023 New Year's resolutions just before going to prison. Want to know what they are? So make sure to watch the video to the very end. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Topish. We have some exciting stories that are full of lip-smacking delicacies, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that being said, let's begin. Todd and Julie Chrisley will shortly be leaving for Florida to start their prison sentences after being found guilty of tax fraud earlier this year. The couple is required to report to 2 different federal prisons on January 17th by noon, according to new records obtained by ET. Julie will spend about 2.5 hours away at the Federal Correctional Institution Mariana, while Todd will do his term at the federal prison camp Pensacola. Both will be kept in their individual facilities with the barest of securities. Todd, 53, and Julie, 49, were found guilty in June of conspiring to conduct tax fraud, bank fraud, and fraud against the United States. Julie was even given a sentence of 7 years in prison and 16 months of probation, while Todd was given a term of 12 years in prison. Todd and Julie were sentenced last month after originally being scheduled for sentencing on October 6th. In August, the couple asked for a second trial and their acquittal, claiming that their previous conviction had been fundamentally unfair. At this point, things started to alter. Though an IRS revenue officer testified that the Chrisleys owed taxes when she knew no taxes were due, Todd and Julie alleged in one court filing that the IRS revenue officer lied. They said that these claims falsely depicted the Chrisleys as dishonest, liable to commit additional types of fraud, and evading the tax payments stated in the indictment. They further accused the court of admitting substantial quantities of evidence at trial that was collected in violation of the Fourth Amendment, including financial documents that they assert were illegally acquired by Georgia's Department of Revenue and initially withheld by the court. The complaint goes on to claim that the court failed to properly enforce its suppression order since it allowed some of the purportedly suppressed documents to be brought into evidence. Furthermore, Julie's claims that she participated in any of the specifically alleged bank frauds was unsupported by any proof, according to the documents defending the petition for acquittal. It also argued that there wasn't enough evidence to prove Todd and Julie committed wire fraud, bank fraud, tax evasion, or a conspiracy to defraud the United States. In August 2019, a federal grand jury charged Todd and Julie for using forged paperwork to get up to $30 million in personal bank loans. The trial and eventual conviction resulted from this. Todd and Julie turned themselves in shortly after admitting guilt, but pleading not guilty. After the sentencing, the family lawyer for the Chrisleys told ET in a statement that Todd and Julie were optimistic about the future. Yesterday was a bad day for the Chrisley family, but Todd and Julie are devoted Christians and their faith gives them the strength to uphold their moral standards. During their trial, there were serious and pervasive errors made, such as when the government misled the jury about the couple's tax obligations. Despite the challenges, the Chrisley family's lawyer, Alex Little, told ET in a statement, "We're optimistic about the future." The two most recently mentioned their appeal and their forthcoming prison terms on Wednesday's episode of their Chrisley Confessions, reminding listeners that they are still leaning on their faith in spite of their legal challenges. He said, "We're doing the best we can at this point. We've put our lives in God's hands. We have confidence that God will finally dispel the darkness. God will lead us through the valley. We try to avoid getting caught up in rumors." When discussing their appeal, Todd suggested that it would be better if they avoided responding to some of the things that would be in the media. The appeal has already been filed, so we're unable to discuss the matter, he said. Don't think that we're trying to keep something from you. The issue is that we've been led to believe we can't. Please keep us in your prayers if it is in your heart and will. Lindsay Chrisley also admits that since learning of her parents Todd and Julie Chrisley's arrest last month, she's seen unfavorable reactions both in person and online. In the most recent episode of the podcast Coffee and Convos with Kale Lowry and Lindsay Chrisley, the 33-year-old describes a negative encounter she had with a person during her first venture in public after the news broke. While eating dinner with friends and their children, Lindsay overheard a woman discussing the matter involving her parents out loud. Jackson, her 7-year-old son, and I were present. The days after her parents' sentencing, she recalled, I went to supper with Jackson, my friends, and their 2 kids. The relevance of paying taxes and the penalty meted out to our parents were being discussed by this woman. The conversation may be heard in its entirety due to how loud she is. According to Lindsay, the woman tells her husband that's one of them, revealing to him that she's a member of the well-known family. The host then reveals that up until her partner approached her, the woman was trying to keep a low profile. She explains, I dropped my head because I'm not going to participate like this. Just the day before, my parents received their sentences. I'm crushed and inconsolable. I'm just trying to grab some pizza and take my kid to a peaceful, small, private area like a local little restaurant where he can go play games, she says. Lindsay acknowledges that she made the decision to intervene on behalf of her family and inform the woman that she was Todd and Julie's daughter. She recalls adding that the woman apologized. I eventually pulled my head up and said, if you would, save the talk for somewhere else because I am their child. We are a real family, and this is their grandson who's sitting right here. The former Chrisley Knows best star also discussed how a mutual acquaintance posted a really offensive and disgusting meme about her father on Facebook. She claims that while going through Facebook over the weekend, she came across a post that featured a photoshopped image of her father and the Tiger King, and made fun of both prison and confinement while also being sexually provocative. Because it's my family and my dad, I'm taking these things very personally. I believe it was dehumanizing for anyone to go out and post that. It was nasty, disgusting, and completely lacking in grace. Knowing that someone who committed this act attended high school with my parents makes me question if this individual bullied my parents while they were there. Additionally, Lindsay talks about how disappointed she was with how a leader from her previous church responded to the meme. This individual was giggling at this. That's really awful, she exclaims. Then it caused some extremely negative ideas, which is what gives Christians a poor reputation. Being a leader in the church and a holy roller on Sundays, you shouldn't be responding to stuff like this on Facebook. It stinks. I called them out because it was demoralizing. I was quite saddened by it, but I was sadder for them. The Southern Tea host concluded her discussion of her parents by reflecting on her niece Chloe's biological mother, who earlier this week told TMZ that she's pursuing full custody of the child. The Chrisley's representative issued a statement to E! In reaction to the claims, saying Todd and Julie are heartbroken by the awful and false narrative that's presently being depicted in the media around Chloe. As Chloe's mother, who had her after a brief relationship with Todd's eldest son Kyle, Lindsay claims she can sympathize with her. She does not, however, think that the story ought to have been published. I find it astounding that issues involving a small child is being revealed to the media. My parents have had phones their entire lives, and they still do, with an active line. They have public and open social media, the speaker claimed. As far as I'm aware, there hasn't been any interaction besides direct media contact. I urge her to get in touch if she has any questions, but don't degrade the issue by spreading a false story through the media. I can guarantee you that the lawyers for my family are quite knowledgeable about what may and may not happen. They care about Chloe and are knowledgeable about adoption rules and what it entails when a parent voluntarily ends their rights. She continued, "It's not only terrible, but it makes the situation more tragic because people are trying to tear her from the life she knows for selfish reasons." Chloe and their 16-year-old son Grayson would be given to the couple's daughter Savannah upon the announcement of Todd and Julie's punishment. That ends today's video. Please leave a comment below to let us know what you think will happen next with the Chrisleys. Like and share this video to stay up to date in their progress, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Topish keeps you up to date on all the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates, and we'll see ya in the next video.